love it.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Danielle. Yeah, no wine today. And I have the costume with me, but there was a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. So
Just a smidge. Just a smidge. That's okay. She looked naked, and we thought, that's not that kind of interview.
Exactly. We're keeping it G-rated. It'll be life-changing, but G-rated.
Absolutely.
I'm
Well,
going to share this really quick, if that's cool, Lisa.
You what?
I'm just going to share this real quick so that my people can watch us.
Yep. While you're doing that, I'm going to do a quick interview or a quick introduction. So for my clients that don't know you, you are a relationship coach for the entrepreneurs. This is Bethany Perry, by the way, and you have won several awards I see on your bio here. NAPW Professional of the Year, Notable Networker, CT Golden Globes, and I'm sure you could add about 80 more to that list, correct?
Yeah, I got a few awards, a few degrees, a few certifications, a few dozen certifications under my belt. And yeah, I've been in business for 10 years, and I just love supporting entrepreneurs as a master coach and really stepping in and supporting them in creating ease and flow in their life. And Wonder Woman mindset is a big part of that.
Well, what sparked me to do this with you is one night Bethany got on in her full on Wonder Woman costume. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if anybody on this earth can teach us, get into Wonder Woman's mind, it's Bethany Perry.
Happy to be here.
So I'm glad she was willing. I've got my Wonder Woman shirt going on here too. That is a bad angle, girl, but you know where we're going with this. I kind of wanted to do a little interviewing as if you had your Wonder Woman mindset all the time. And some of the things that come up for a lot of us day to day, and I'm gonna just ask you like how she handles certain things, and I want you to respond like as if you have Wonder Woman mindset. Does that make sense?
Yes. And for the record, I have no idea what these questions are. So you guys are getting this live as live can be.
which is good, because I met Bethany out in Boston, and then we just spent time in Harlow Bay as well. And we're like Laurel and Hardy.
Fair enough. Oh my gosh, I know. I have such a good time with you.
Yes, and so we play well off of each other, and we have a good time. So, I know you'll breeze through. So, if you're in the Wonder Woman mindset, how do you handle fear?
How do you handle fear? Oh, there's so many ways we could go with this. I think the number one thing to look at fear as a tuning device instead of something to be afraid of. Like, you already have fear going on. Don't make fear of fear add and build up in you, and recognize it's a tuning device and check in. You know, I mean, if you guys see the Wonder Woman movie, there are times where literally her life is in danger. So if you're feeling fear, are you actually in physical danger? Is someone actually going to get hurt in a serious way? Fear is a survival. It's like a biofeedback for our survival. So recognize that. And then the reality is that 99.9% of times, fear is just, it's not about survival. It's about something might change. And if that unknown piece is usually what stops people in their tracks. And, so recognizing, Wonder Woman, technically, she is so passionate about her mission, and it's a non-negotiable to live her purpose and her truth, that even if her life is on the line, it's not enough to stop her. So where is your passion? What on the spectrum of how bad do you want what you say you want? what amount of fear is going to stop you, and recognize that, is your life in danger? Like, recognize there's a physiological fear-based response that happens for survival skills. And then recognize that if you're not going to physically die, recognize, is your dream going to die if you don't take action? So that's my Wonder Woman response about fear.
I love it. I love it. And it's so true. I mean, we need fear in our life as well. You know, everybody says you don't want it, but it is a great way to measure where we're at. And yeah, I love that. How does Wonder Woman handle rejection?
Ooh, rejection. That's a touchy subject, rejection. Well, is there a certain kind of rejection? Yeah, we all go through, there's so many kinds of rejection. Is there a certain kind of rejection that you want me to address for your people?
I was thinking of, you know, in business, you get rejected. I mean, just being an entrepreneur, you have so much rejection around you on a daily basis. Just thinking, you know, because you're not kind of following the norm path. So your family maybe is like, what are you doing? You know, that kind of self, like, you know, your colleagues maybe are, or, you know, in previous jobs, what are you doing? You know, that kind of feedback.
Oh, so you want me to just answer every possible kind of rejection that there is?
Well, Wonder Woman's so good at it.
I know, I totally can. I just didn't know how much you wanted me to go. So how I support my clients, I break it down into 5 areas. And so we have our self, health, we have romantic relationships, then we have community, so that would look like family, friends, clients, colleagues, and then we have financial. So if we look at all 5 of those areas, we're all going to go through rejection in all 5 of those areas at some given time. Mostly how we handle it is let's see the best way to say this. Okay, if you look at what one of those 5 areas are you most scared to be rejected in, that's going to highlight your biggest weakness in handling rejection. So some people in business, they take no's from prospects all day long, and that's fine. But then if they get it, like their kid says, no, I'm not going to clean my room, they freak out. Other people are fine in the family dynamics, and if they get a no around money, that's their trigger. So identifying your biggest trigger and healing that is I call it the overlap factor. It's going to benefit you in how you handle rejection in every area of your life. One of Jack Canfield's approaches that really I think is so simple and beautiful, I'm just going to, defer a little bit to his approach, where he says, if you think about somebody telling you no, for example, let's say, Lisa, I love you. I would love to go out and have dinner with you. I don't have anybody to go to dinner with tonight. Would you like to go to dinner with me? And you say no. Yeah. What in my life has changed? I still have nobody to go to dinner with. My life has not actually changed because of that no. And so I think it's really important to not give our power away when someone else says no, because the no doesn't actually change our life. It is how we interpret the no. And so if we give it the no a lot of power, that's when we have, we go into crisis mode over, I'm so rejected, and we have this emotional reaction that can kind of snowball out of control. And then just a final thought on rejection around getting no's in any area of our life is, how many no's are we willing to get in order to get a yes? And if you're only willing to get 3 no's before you quit, then your chance for success is drastically decreased. If you're willing to get hundreds or thousands or as many no's as it takes in order to get your yes, then you can't fail. Right. Well, didn't Jack get 144 no's for his chicken soup whole book? And then they finally got somebody that was willing to give him the deal. So I like that. So, but that's very good about it affecting every area in your life as well. That might be something new to people, like, oh yeah, that's why I react that way to that. And
I mean, it all comes together, doesn't it? It really does, in a nutshell.
It overlaps so powerfully, and that's why I try to fast track. I'm so happy to share this with people if they haven't heard this approach before, because it's something that I base all of my work on, is getting fast results. And if you look for the biggest hole in the bucket and plug that one, you're gonna really exponentially improve your results. So I hope that is helpful for people.
Yeah, I think that was excellent, darling. Tell me what Wonder Woman does when she needs help. Does she ask for it? Does she try to do it by herself? Is she a control freak? Is she?
That's a good question. Wow, probably a little bit of all of the above. But I think that that's part of a growing process and a learning process. You know, like there's a certain amount of trying it on your own that I think is responsible. Because if you think about the Wonder Woman attitude, is a strong, fierce, powerful woman who can do so much on her own. So I think it's almost a little irresponsible to not ask yourself, can I do this on my own? A little bit of a reframe on that too is, do you want to do it on your own? Because there's plenty of stuff that we can all do, but is it really what we're good at? Is it really what we love doing? And is it the best use of our time, money, and energy to do all of that on our own? And then as far as asking for help, I mean, I think ultimately any superhero, and I'm just turning my alerts off. I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were still on. Any superhero that we're watching is ultimately the face. Sorry to get you choked up there.
Went down the wrong pipe.
But no, any superhero is ultimately like the face of fighting a battle and getting success and having victory. But I can't think of a single one that ever did it all by themselves. And if you think about the joy, like, of being surrounded and sharing. I mean, look at how we've connected on our entrepreneurial journeys. Like, we're both in business technically by ourselves, but the community that we have with each other is really powerful in fast tracking our results, not even because we're coaching each other as much as it's just like, you're not alone. So if you think about it, there's very few people that actually want to be alone in any part of their life. So why is doing it by yourself the automatic go-to thing? That's not Wonder Woman's mindset, in my opinion.
I completely agree with you. Because I would say being part of mature Wonder Woman is knowing when to ask for help and when to say, I can't do this on my own, or I need help here. Whether it's personal, business, relationship, knowing when to have that person step in and assist. I think that's huge. And I think that's a maturity type thing, because I know in my younger years, I was going to do it all by myself, and now it's like, okay, I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at, what I don't like. I'm going to have help with that. So I think that's a good point. So
have you seen the movie, Lisa? Have you seen the new movie?
Oh
my God, it's so good. It's so good. And I have to tell you, your question about doing things alone, when you do see it, because I do highly recommend the movie. I think it was very well done. When you do see the movie, it's not a spoiler alert really, but it's the story of her origin, and it shows her being raised on this island, and it's only females, and the strength of these women and the community, and also the respect for who's the queen and who's the best warrior. And it's not about better or worse. It's about this incredible cohesive working together. They even have this like ninja move that they do when they get into battle, and it's like, shield wall, or not shield wall, that's a different movie, but they're like shield, and they hold the shield up, and the other woman comes and like jumps off the shield, but it takes a community for them to win in general. And it was like, it's giving me goosebumps to remember, because the scene was so powerfully done about the community and the sense of connection to each other that made them as fierce and as powerful as they are. So I think that's, yeah, a cool part about the movie to play in today's interview.
Now I got to go watch it. Well, I've been begging my daughter to go, so I might just have to go by myself. But because I want her to see that, you know, I think it's great for our girls to see this, that there are powerful women out there. I mean, yes, she's fictional, but we want good role models. We want them to see how it's done. You know, that's important. I have one more question, and then I know you have prepared something for everyone, which I'm excited. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to hear it. What does she do when she gets a compliment? Because that takes some strength too.
Oh, Wonder Woman accepts compliments no problem. She's like, of course I'm smart. Of course I'm beautiful. Don't you know this about yourself? Like, of course. And she's appreciative. And in fact, even I think a lot of the compliments she gets, it's really almost like, you have no idea. I'm so much better than you even know. I'm so much more capable than you're even giving me credit for. That's Wonder Woman. That was the easiest question of all. Yes.
Well, but I think it's important, because how many of us go, if we get a compliment, it's like, they're not telling the truth, or they don't mean that, or we just kind of brush it off. It takes strength to take that compliment in and go, thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
And for anyone, I think you're so right. In fact, it was easy to answer how Wonder Woman would handle that. But you're spot on that most people, especially women, really struggle with that. Even if they're polite enough to say thank you, they follow it with the word but. And anytime you're communicating, this is like a kind of like a very simple but a master communication tip for anyone listening. Anytime you say something and then you put the word but and you keep on talking, you just negated everything that you just said. So if you tell me, wow, your headband's super awesome, I could be like, thank you, but it's a little itchy. And it is a little itchy. But
I blush
the word but takes away. So a more appropriate way to actually open our receiving portals is to say thank you, and it's a little itchy.
Love that.
That's really powerful. And recognizing that people are actually oftentimes more comfortable saying they want, to build a 7-figure business. That requires a huge amount of receiving you have to be capable of receiving at that level. And if you can't receive a compliment, it's going to be that much more difficult for you to receive more income, more love in your relationships, more success in any way. And it breaks my heart to see people struggling with that, because that's actually on a daily basis something that people could just start getting better at. And it's going to influence, again, that overlap factor. It's going to influence them being able to receive more everywhere in their life. And if you notice that you're uncomfortable receiving a compliment, feel into that discomfort and ask yourself, why is that uncomfortable? Because then you can deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a good point. I so agree. And that takes practice. Don't you think it takes practice to do that?
Yeah. It's like going to the gym and building your leg muscles and your arm muscles. We need to we need to strengthen our receiving muscles in order to receive what we deserve, what will allow us to complete our actual true mission and purpose in our life. So I think it's really important for people. That was a really great topic for you to bring up. I'm so glad you did.
Well, thanks, babe. It's probably because I have struggled with that. So, I think I know a lot of women do. When I had the store, it truly came from my heart when I would see somebody in something and be like, wow, that just lit you up. And they'd say, oh, yeah, but this fat roll here. You know what I mean? The butt and everything. So I love the point that you said, to receive, we have to open up. Even to receive referrals, Does that make sense? Like, you know,
absolutely.
Yeah. Or testimonials, you know, right? So we have to be willing to go, yeah, I did a damn good job. So very, very interesting. Okay, you have prepared something, and I'm dying to hear about it, so go for it.
Okay, I have a little cheat sheet here. But I came up with kind of like 3 crucial elements to stepping into your own Wonder Woman mindset and your own empowered Wonder Woman attitude, where you can receive compliments, you can face fear, you can do all the things that we were already talking about. And really understanding, I think that the first one is the fact that it's a choice. And it's very rarely a one and done choice. We have to choose, who are we, sometimes on a moment to moment basis. Are we going to live in fear, or are we going to go for our dreams? Are we going to be a victim, or are we going to be empowered? You can't be both at the same time. So we have to choose. And if you think about, like, Wonder Woman, her choice was to go save the world, literally. Like, that was her choice. And in that process, she had to defy what her mom wanted her to do. And that was not an easy choice, but it was important for her to recognize her own, taking full responsibility for her choice to make what she wanted happen. So I would challenge anyone listening, what's your choice? You might not want to go save the world, and that's okay if that's not your mission. But you can apply Wonder Woman mindset to fixing your marriage, to growing your business, to reclaiming your health. And you are probably going to have to choose that more than one time on a daily basis, sometimes more often. It might be on an hourly basis. It might be minute by minute, some moments. But when you tap into what your true purpose and that sounds so vague to say your true purpose, but when you get clarity on, this is what I choose, and I'm all in. Like, she was off to save the world, no matter who it upset. The second thing that's really, this one's a lot more fun, but it's to have an attitude of curiosity. Yes. So the first part that I think is crucial is to recognize choice, and to make that choice every time we're presented with, a fork in the path, so to speak. The second is an attitude of curiosity. In the movie, she didn't know what a man was. She had been raised on an island full of women only. And when she finally went over, left the life as she knew it, her clothes didn't fit in. Her speech was a little off. Her confidence was almost unacceptable. There's actually a really funny part about clothes that I think you would, especially with your style experience and skill set, you'll really appreciate this. They had her trying on clothes so she would fit in. And she was like trying to do her like warrior moves in these dresses. And she's like ripping clothes. And she's like, I can't fight in this. How am I going to save the world in this outfit? But it was what was acceptable to wear. And so she had to, even just adjusting, she had to be curious about, okay, the clothes I'm wearing aren't going to work, but the clothes they're telling me to wear aren't going to work. She had to be curious and find a solution. She didn't understand the pain of war. She saw soldiers coming back. So she had to get curious. She had to be curious about, why is this happening? How is this happening? What do they even really want help with? She didn't know. She got curious. And so anyone that's listening, how can you get the support you need? How can you get curious about, what do you actually need help in? What do you actually need answers in? What skill sets do you actually need to improve? Whether that's mindset or business skills, or there's so many options. If you're curious, it goes from being like, it could be all of this to like, oh, it's this. This is my focus. And then just one more point on this topic of being curious is we have more answers inside of us than we give ourselves credit for. And in order to be curious in a way that you're not depending on other people, the first thing you can do it right now as soon as this video is over, is take a minute, close your eyes, breathe, and imagine if you already achieved that goal. Okay, so in step number 1, we chose, what are we doing? What is our most important thing here? And then imagine if it was already true, who would you be? And use all 5 of your senses, envisioning that. So be curious. What does the end result look like, feel like, smell like, taste like? Who am I surrounded with? Paint a picture as visually detailed as you can. And then here's my last one for you. Final ingredient that I think is crucial to Wonder Woman mindset is connection.
Yes.
If you're an online business owner that might, that does include Wi-Fi. Like, we like good Wi-Fi connections. But what I'm really talking about here is the connection to other people, the connection to yourself. Those 5 areas I talked about that I work with people on: yourself, your romantic partner, your friends, families, colleagues, your community, your health, and then your finances. And what is your connection to each of those areas? And, choosing the right people to surround ourselves with in our personal life and in our business is an incredibly important part of that. And it can be painful to recognize if we need to decrease, connecting with other people. But again, it goes back to choice and then curiosity. You can choose new connections in a loving way. You don't have to do it alone, especially if you add some good connections in your life. And in kind of wrapping this up, again, in the movie, she has some painful experiences. She's not just, I'm Wonder Woman, I never make mistakes and everything is always perfect. And it's those painful experiences that she has that, yes, she is a fictional character, but it's very relatable because we all have painful experiences that if we follow the Wonder Woman example, whatever you've been doing with your painful experiences in the past, you can choose to allow it to inspire you, to fuel you, and ultimately we get to decide the meaning that we attach to any painful experience we've had. So, whatever your painful experience is that's jumping to the forefront of your mind, that you're like, well, I can't because, or, oh, this would hurt too much, or whatever that looks like in your mind right now, remember that you could choose to attach a positive outcome. You can look for positive possibilities. And I'm not just talking about like woo-woo, like pretend it's all fine and, rainbows and rose-colored glasses. I'm talking about actually looking for how could it serve you? How could it serve the people that you're trying to help? How could it actually improve your self-confidence, your relationships, your finances, your health, all these different areas? And I think those 3 ingredients, choice,
awesome,
curiosity, and connection are going to be really powerful concepts to activate and create your own Wonder Woman mindset. What do you think?
Wonder Woman power, right here.
Hopefully that doesn't mean something else in any foreign languages. I did a video. I posted a picture one time, and I was like, yeah, like I think it was. I forget what it was, but it was like, yeah, or maybe it was the peace sign. I can't even remember. It was either thumbs up or the peace sign. And I got very well-intentioned feedback that in whatever country this person was from, that's about the same as giving the middle finger in America. And I was like,
that's not good, darling.
Well, so I guess we'll find out what this means.
I think we will.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun.
Oh, well, you are amazing, by the way, Wonder Woman, aka Bethany Perry. But everybody go over to Bethany's page, and it is The Power of You, correct?
Yep, The Power of You is my private Facebook group, and then online, I'm mostly Beth Perry, so it's bethperry.com is the website, and I think that's also, or if you search at bethperry.com, like spell out BETHPERRYDOTCOM, that's where you can find me on any social media platform. Perfect,
because you are a fountain of information, young lady. I've never met anybody like you. It's wonderful. My life is much more enriched since you're in it. And I'm just really glad that we made connection and we are in each other's lives. And
I feel so grateful for you, Lisa. You're absolutely fabulous. I love being connected to the work you're doing. The mission you're up to is so important. And we'll just see where our roads take us. But I know that we're both up to big things, and I enjoy so much about you. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You can stay on for a minute. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. Hopefully you've been inspired, motivated. Feel free to contact Bethany or myself. And if you have questions, comments, ideas, we are open, right, Beth?
Yes.
Always welcoming. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone. And goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.